What colour do people say you are? Black. Apart from that, I've never really had like a I'm dark skin or light skin.
People tend to say that I'm black.
I've always been, well, labelled as a dark-skinned girl. That's what people tend to say I am. I've never been called like light-skinned or brown, well, for obvious reasons.
People say I'm dark-skinned girl.
Me personally, I would say I'm brown skin, but like in the past I have had people say I'm light skin because I'm the lightest in my family. So like when we're like out when I was younger, it's like, oh, you know, my young people are like, you know, your child is light.
I am seen as light skin. Do you understand when like in this part of the conversation where it's like a lot of brown skinned women get called dark skinned women, and then they're sort of like the normalized front of what is dark skin, when in reality they're not even dark skin.
People told me I'm dark skin. Some people told me I'm brown skin. I'm definitely not light skin. No one's ever told me that yet. So
brown skin? Like, I was called light skin when I was little because I was a lot lighter back then. I'd say brown skin, probably.
I'm around white people. They say I'm brown. And if around black people, they'll just say I'm light skin.
Black. I'm brown, black. Am I dark skin? Do you know what? I don't know what I am because I'm not dark skin. I'm not light skin, but I'm light skin for a dark person.
What colour do people say you are, and do you think they're right? They say I'm light skin, and I mean my skin is light, so yeah, I would say they're right.
Yes. As far as I'm aware, I think I'm dark skinned.
I say I'm black. I say I'm a dark skinned woman, but some people say I'm light skinned, which I don't think I am.
And do I agree with them? Yeah. Yeah, I just don't think there's very much arguing to be had there.
Yeah, I think they're right.
Do you think they are right? Yeah, because that's what I am.
You think they're right? Yeah, I guess.
Because people don't really say I'm light skin, dark skin, mid skin, whatever it is, it's kind of hard to answer this question.
I thought I was dark skin until Beyonce released Brown Skin Girl, and then I thought, oh, I must be brown skin because she was talking about Lupita and Kelly, and they're like my skin color. So I think if I'm with white people, they can call me dark skin, they can call me brown skin, that's fine. If I'm with light skin people, they can call me brown skin, they can call me dark skin, that's fine. But if I'm with someone who's darker skin, like, you know, like the girls in South Sudan, stunning skin, like that dark, then I'm brown skin and they're dark skin. I feel like it's weird for me to be dark skin and them to also be dark skin when clearly we don't have the same skin color or anywhere near. So I think I'm brown skin. I might be dark skin. I don't even know.
Yeah, I think I'm a dark skinned girl. There's no shame about it. I love the colour of my skin, so yeah.
Give an example of a colorist stereotype you have heard. Light skinned girls get away with everything because they're pretty girl, pretty light skin privileges, or colorist stereotypes. Darker girls are ugly, or darker girls aren't as pretty as lighter girls. That's another stereotype.
The stereotype of light skins are prestige, but dark skinned girls are loud and aggressive.
The whole thing of, oh, light skinned women are beautiful and like just by being born, and dark skinned women are just innately ugly, which is just a ridiculous statement. Like, I can't even. The number of beautiful, like, dark skinned women that I see in my real life, on social media, like, beautiful.
Light skins are prestige. That dark skinned women are loud and arrogant. That dark men are masculine.
A colorist stereotype I've heard is like light-skinned boys are always in their feelings, kind of like how Drake was always singing about his emotions and stuff. So people started to say that light-skinned boys were like weaker or like in their feelings a lot. They are in their feelings, but it's not because they're light-skinned, it's because they're human.
Chocolate girls are curvy.
Dark-skinned girls are really aggressive, and I just think it's really dangerous to associate a trait like that to just one specific race and gender.
Dark-skinned women are loud, dark-skinned women are more prone to violence, they're more that shit. And I'm trying to think of ones for guys, but there's no, I mean, I guess some people could say that dark-skinned men are more violent as well, but usually you hear black guys saying to black women, like about black women, that black females are louder. And I knew a guy who literally told me that he wouldn't, like, he was a black guy, he said he wouldn't date black girls because they're loud and they're that shit. Someone has actually said that they smell. I mean, we've all seen all the stuff on like social media of black celebrities, what they're saying to each other, but yeah, I've definitely heard more guys putting down black females as loud than black girls. And when it comes to light-skinned females, they see them more like, you know, sweet, like nice, wifeable.
The dark-skinned women are crazy, loud and argumentative. And then whenever we come back saying that we're not, then you come and say, oh, see, you're being argumentative. No, we're just defending ourselves. That's it. That's it. And also that we're, this isn't stereotype, but we get compared to apes. I don't get that. We're not apes, we're human beings.
I've heard that black girls are loud or actually aggressive, you know, the whole 9 yards. I've heard light-skinned girls are prestige, like bougie, like they're too good for you. Yeah, I haven't really heard many positive stereotypes. Lots the tea.
Have I ever experienced colorism personally? Yes. When I was in year 11, I went to this leavers party and my old school was completely white. But tell me why I'm literally the only black girl at this party, and this guy comes up to me, he's like, odds on you're gonna whine on my friend. I was like, what? And I think that just perpetuates the idea that dark-skinned women are curvy, voluptuous, they can just highly sexualized, and I just think, like, out of all the girls at this party, why did you choose me?
I say that I've experienced colorism, or if it has happened to me, I've just been naive to it.
Have I experienced it personally? No. The only thing I've experienced, it wasn't with colorism per se, it was just like kind of racist jokes in like nursery. But that's kind of it. I think I'm more of the privileged person of colour when it comes to experiencing hard things portrayed upon you, but
I wouldn't say so much. I can't like pick out a moment I've experienced the sort of ditzy thing, but the pretty thing, obviously, the fetish, like, I can't even say the word, fetishization, I have experienced, and I have experienced people who just beat down dark-skinned women very openly, just because they're dark-skinned.
I personally experienced colorism, and if so, when and how. I remember this was at the train station in secondary school. I was on my way to school. Some random person, I don't even remember the person, some random person said, oh, you're so pretty, for a black girl, for a dark-skinned black girl. I did my exactly what I did. I was like, and I walked off. That was it. There's nothing else more to that. So that's the one I can think of that if I've experienced it, I probably haven't realised.
Now, personally, I haven't experienced it explicitly, but I've definitely seen it around me in implicit ways. Like, people haven't really been open about colorism, but you can tell that a strong preference is ingrained.
I have experienced a lot of colorism. How? I have so many stories. It's just like, which story do I tell you? I don't even know. I probably experience it once a day, every day. Okay, there was this one time that, so I used to take the same bus after school every day, and I would sit with the same group of people at the top, at the back of the bus, like the cool kids. And there was this one light-skinned guy who I thought was kind of cute, but I never really said anything to him, he never really said anything to me. We were all in the same kind of like bus friendship group. So one day, he just starts talking to me out of nowhere, like complimenting me like loads, like saying, oh, you're really beautiful, you're actually really beautiful, you know. And everyone else in the bus is like, in our friendship group, is like, why are you being so nice to her today? Because he's never nice to me, he was always like really mean to me. And I was just like, okay. And then he pulled out this picture of this model, this Instagram model who was light skinned, and he said, you're even prettier than her, you know, you're more beautiful than her. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm not really about putting one girl down to raise another girl up, so I would have preferred if he just told me I was beautiful, but you know, I was still like, you know, thank you. I take the compliment, I was like, thank you. And then he looked at the photo, and he looked at me, he looked at the photo, he looked at me, he looked at the photo, and he was like, actually, if you were light skinned, then you'd be prettier. Like, she's a bit pretty to me, but it's just because she's light skinned. And I was like, and everyone else in the bus was like, bro, like, you can't say that.
This guy literally once came up to me and said, when I first met you, I thought you were prestige light skin, but now I see you're calm. And I'm like, what do you actually want me to say to that? And that made me so angry. Like, so should I now be gassed because, you know, I conquered your stereotype of, like, you know, lighter skinned black women? Like, what is your problem? And I don't understand people with that kind of mentality, because what kind of response do you get? Are you telling me that there's females out there that get gassed because of that? Oh, because it just doesn't make sense. And then black girls, you know, they would obviously have experienced guys telling them, you know, I used to think you're just like another loud black girl, but now I see that you're calm. Like, that's so toxic, and people just see it as like, you know, people see it as a compliment. Guys that see it, they think that the female should take it as a compliment when it's an insult in itself.
I've experienced a lot of people call me prestige. I don't know why. Literally just based off not even knowing me. A lot of the time, the people that say it are people that don't know me, and then when they get to know me, they're like, oh, so you're not. So yeah, that's the only one I can think of.
So you know how girls like to hold hands to go into the bathroom together? This one girl took me by the hand into the bathroom, and we're just talking about like her life, like what was going on, like boys and girls and stuff. And then out of nowhere, she's just like, oh yeah, I really think everyone's beautiful, but I've just never really found dark-skinned people attractive, like black people. I don't really find them attractive. And when she said black, she meant dark skin, because I've seen like light-skinned boys who she found attractive, so she was obviously talking about dark skins. And she was just like, yeah, so she just told me out of nowhere that she doesn't think dark-skinned people are attractive. I don't know why she did that. I still think it's kind of weird, but it is what it is.
People commonly complain of colorism and black TV families. Look up black TV family. Do you see an issue? Right, let's look it up. Black TV families.
I just think when I look up black TV families, it's just mostly just lighter skinned people, and there just needs to be more darker skinned families, so at least the younger kids have someone they can look up to.
In the beginning, like, his Aunt Viv was a dark skinned woman, and then out of nowhere I see a light skinned female. Are you telling me that you couldn't find a dark skinned actress to replace this woman? Even if she did she leave, or did you like just throw her out, replace her? You know, and the energy was different as well, because with the new the first time Viv, you know, she had like a feisty-ish like personality, but the new one, she was more like calm, more, you know, mellow, like toned down. So is that their way of saying that this is how black women should be? Like, are you saying that this is the standard, and that Aunt Viv wasn't good enough? That made me so angry, because like the difference, the stark contrast, like why? And also in this show called My Wife and Kids, so the daughter, they changed her from like a dark-skinned girl to a really light-skinned girl.
A typical black family sitcom, you do notice that the girls in the family are played by light-skinned actresses, and there hardly ever is a dark-skinned actress to play those roles. And if there is a dark-skinned actor, it is a man, which then again shows the preference for lighter-skinned girls over darker-skinned girls. So yeah, I see an issue.
So I looked up black TV family on Google, and the first thing was the Bill Cosby show. So when I saw that, there wasn't an issue. There was diverse. Yeah, there was a diverse amount of skin tones. I mean, there was a lot of dark-skinned people, but there was no issue. The only issue I found was that most of the women, their hair was straightened and pressed. You didn't see their natural hair, but that could be because they prefer straight hair. I mean, you don't see my natural hair, so yeah.
So I looked up Black TV family. First of all, there was no family where everyone was dark skinned, but there were families where everyone was light skinned, or where everyone was lighter skinned. There was like barely any dark skinned people. All the dark skinned people were men. There were a few families where there was a dark skinned woman, but like in Blackish, obviously Marsai Martins, who is stunning in real life, was the only dark skinned character. But then in the show, she wasn't supposed to be pretty. Like initially in Blackish, she wasn't the pretty one. She was like the awkward one. So even though she was a dark skinned female, she wasn't portrayed as a beautiful dark skinned female. She was just portrayed as a dark skinned female. So, apart from that, just needs more dark skinned females, to be honest. More dark skinned females, more beautiful dark skinned females who were young. There were no young dark skinned females. All the dark skinned females were older, from what I saw. I don't know. But yeah, there's definitely a problem there.
Yes. Typically they only really show light-skinned Black families, and I think that's just wrong because there are so many different shades and so many like Black families from different countries, from different continents. Like they all have different experiences, different traditions, different cultures, and I think that needs to be represented, and I don't really feel like I'm being represented on TV, which isn't that great, but I feel like we can change that if we just widen our presentation of Black families.
We see a problem. They're all of lighter skin, and I don't really see any dark melanin, and if it is, it's usually a male. Not too surprised there.
I believe that the main cause of colorism today is definitely still racism, but that's a whole nother topic.
I would definitely say influencers and really like proper famous people like Kanye West, Kenya Barris, who creates the Blackish TV shows, and just people who, usually men, who use their platform to embrace being Black without its like full extent.
I don't actually know what the cause of colorism is. Like, I don't understand. I understand that racism was caused by slavery back in the day, and I understand that colorism also was caused by slavery back in the day. People say stuff like, oh, the acting industry causes colorism, the music industry causes colorism, the rap industry, causes colorism, but I don't think that those things cause it. They're just the source of it. The reason why those individuals are colorist, I have no idea where that comes from. It's such a disadvantage in life if you're colorist, because first of all, you're not going to see as much beauty in the world as you would have if you'd appreciated women with darker skin tones. You're going to limit your options relationship wise, in terms of people who you'll more likely be friends with. You're going to limit your options there. It's such a disadvantage to be colorist. I don't understand why people are still colorist when it just hurts you so much. I don't know, it's just such a disadvantage. I don't know.
I think that colorism today just stems from internalized racism. People have been programmed and conditioned to believe that darker skin tones means badness, means evil, means negativity, and I feel like that the shockwaves of that, and of slavery as well, and of colonialism, have been passed down generation after generation, subconsciously in a way, and that just feeds into how we perceive different skin tones and how we treat and appreciate Blackness.
What would you say is the main cause of colorism today? Ignorance.
Just ignorance, I guess. We're very, very conditioned. I know back in the day, slavery and that the light-skinned slaves given more privilege than dark-skinned slaves, and we carried that all the way to how we see each other today.
I think social media I don't really know what else to say, but I think it's social media.
What would you say is the main cause of colorism today? I would definitely put it down to social conditioning. I feel like society has taken great influence over our beauty standards and has said that lighter skin is more beautiful than darker skin, which comes out of deep-rooted racism, I would say.
Do you think colorism will end? No. Mate, racism has not ended, let alone colorism. So there's always going to be people with wayward opinions that are going to voice their opinions because we have freedom of speech. And yeah, so no.
And honestly, I don't know the answer to that, because obviously I hope that it ends, and I hope that we get to a point where this kind of like prejudice and discrimination is it's eradicated. But I don't think anything is going to change if people don't get educated as to what is appropriate and what is not, and what is derogatory and what is just like an opinion. So yeah, like the way I think the issue is actually getting worse because of, you know, social media and like how people are like more easily influenced these days, I think. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of work to be done, and we have a long way to go if we're going to get to a place of like acceptance towards one another.
I think colorism will end, you know, same way racism will end, same way poverty will end. Like all of these horrible things that happen in this world, they're not going to end because people are too stubborn in their ways. It's just unfortunate.
Do you think colorism will end? I feel like it will. I think our generation is making a move against it ending because we're teaching our kids that melanin is beautiful from early, and we're embracing natural hair and our deep African roots. So I really do think that as a generation we're pushing for that end, and we really are battling against the conventions that society has tried to push on us for so long.
I'm quite a pessimistic person, so I don't think it will end, or at least not anytime soon. I think it will take a lot of reforms, a lot of social change, a lot of discussions and openness about the subject for there to be any major impact or growth or development. So I think in the short term, no, but if we continue having discussions and talking about this vulnerably, I think we can be able to like alleviate it a bit. But yeah.
See, I'm an optimist, so I'd like to think it would ease to the point where it wasn't as jagged, as harsh as it is in this day and age. Like it would ease to the point where it's not really, it would ease. That's my answer. I don't know if it would end completely, but I think it would ease.
I think if people keep on speaking about it, people will recognise their privilege no matter who you are. If there's more representation within media and just like day-to-day life, then I think it definitely will end, and I think quicker than we think.
I believe that colorism will end, but that'll be when Jesus comes. So
do you think colorism will end? I would love to say yes. I would love to think that there is going to be a world where not only colorism is not a thing, but racism is not a thing, and gender equality is a thing. However, I'm just not sure. I believe that the world is getting better in addressing these matters, and I feel like people are becoming more open-minded to respecting different skin tones and not judging people based on their skin tones. But I cannot say if I think it's going to get better or not, because as I said, the development is still quite slow, but at least it's there, and I pray that there is a day when we can all see each other as equals.
My final thoughts on this whole colorism thing is it's so stupid, because black girls are black girls, black boys are black boys. The amount of melanin pigmentation in your skin shouldn't matter, you know. You shouldn't say as someone has a certain character type because of how dark they are. Like, if you actually think about it, that's so stupid, and it doesn't actually make any logical sense. The same way racism is stupid, this is the same way that colorism is as well. And it's kind of hypocritical for people to obviously be against racism and when they're practicing colorism themselves. So yeah, I think we should just all accept each other, just have your preference, that's fine, but don't put anyone down.
I know that watching back these clips, there's probably going to be a lot of pain in a lot of people's words. People who've experienced colorism, whether it's benefited them or disadvantaged them, because this is something that it's just ridiculous. How can everybody in the world discriminate against us and then we turn around and discriminate against ourselves? How can we do that to ourselves? And that pain is like, I think there's a lot of healing that needs to be done in the community. Colorism isn't something we need to get rid of, it's something that needs to be healed from us as a people. And I really hope that can happen.
Seeing my final thoughts about colorism is that we shouldn't be too quick to give someone accolades just because they find a dark-skinned girl attractive. Like, no. You don't deserve a trophy for that. And we should just, go where we're wanted. We shouldn't try and force anyone to like us. Like, it's not by force. It's actually not by force.
It should stop. It's just how can you discriminate against someone based on their skin tone? That's crazy.
Everyone's beautiful, and obviously this is why this needs to be said, but this colour of someone's skin doesn't change the inside. I don't think it does. Do you think it changes the inside? No, it just doesn't really. It has nothing to do with who you are. And the fact that that's a thing is so mind-boggling to me. But we move. Hopefully things will get better. Everyone from light pale to dark skin, beautiful. They all shine in their own way, they're all bomb. And yeah.
What I will say about colorism is that I do hope that in the future it does get better. I don't believe that as a community that has gone through so much suffering and pain and so much struggle already, that we should then be tearing each other apart in that very same way. I believe that all skin tones are beautiful, and there is nothing wrong with being on the darker shades of things and even on the lighter shade of things. I believe that as a community we need to break down this concept so we can be able to support each other and motivate each other and train each other so that we can rise and all fulfill the amazing destiny that God has planned for us.
One issue that I'm passionate to see change in is just to have more black fathers in the household. Oop.
One issue I feel that people need to discuss more is the lack of women representation in technology and science fields. I feel as though women have so much more to offer and are scared because it's a predominantly male area, but like every other predominantly male area, we've managed to show that we are capable of handling it, and we do it well.
The issue that I am passionate to see changing is black on black discrimination, and I hope that we are the last generation where this is an issue.
One issue people don't talk about enough is black on black hate, because it seems like because we're within our race, people think it's okay to say certain things because it's not black and white, so it's not racism, if that makes sense. But when you're hating on the people that are like you, it kind of diminishes hope of there being a better future and people thinking correctly, thinking in better ways. If we can't show love to our own race, how are we going to change the way others see our race?
One issue people don't talk enough about is, I would say it definitely is the treatment of dark-skinned girls.
One issue I'm passionate to see changing is the portrayal of black women in media. I think it's just disgusting sometimes how they're just sexualized and put down, and just seeing the intersectional oppression on black women. I think that we really need to have open discussions about that, so that we can uplift black women, so that we can support them and make them feel valued in society.
I had a friend once who, when I was talking to her about my insecurities, about I was feeling ugly at the time, telling her how I felt ugly, when it was her turn to speak, she was like, she literally just turned to me and she said, am I black? Am I white? Like, what am I? And I didn't understand what she was saying at the time, but over time I've come to understand that biracial people do struggle with their identity. A lot of biracial people struggle with identifying as either white or black, being forced into these two boxes where you have to, you know what I mean, like, by society. So since my friend told me, since she opened up to me that day, I've never heard anyone talk about it.
One issue I'm passionate to see changing is, this is weird, but men showing emotion, because most people nowadays think that men can't show emotion, which I think is absolutely rubbish. For example, with this colorism thing on Twitter, if a guy was to, I remember I saw some tweets saying, oh, guys go through it as well, and girls were like, no, you don't. That's no. I want to see where women of colour and men of colour can come together and experience the same things, acknowledge they experience the same thing, and rise above it. That's what I'm passionate about.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I filmed this video about colorism. This is the second video in my series of colorism, which I've decided to call the Colour Book. I really appreciate if you enjoyed it. If you think someone could see it and learn from it, to please share this around. Watching these girls' clips back, there was so much pain in a lot of their voices, and I really feel like by expressing that pain, somehow we've, I don't know. Comment, like, share, subscribe, tell me what you feel in my DMs, whatever. Like, I really want to start this conversation, and my DMs are open to have it anytime. Thank you for watching, thank you for making it this far in this video, and God bless you.